Welcome back to her roundtable. I am Sierra,
And I'm Leslie.
and we are so excited for today's episode. If you are a mama and you also run a business, today's episode is for you.
Yes.
All right, so we're gonna talk about balance in being a mom and owning a business does not exist. The
Mm.
mompreneur myth, okay?
Yes. The myth.
So the myth, the
Mhm.
but balancing those things, balancing life, business, being a mom, all of the things, there is no balance. I've learned that you just kind of have to find a harmony between all of the things because you're going to run yourself ragged trying to find the balance
Mhm.
because it's hard. It is very hard being a mom
Mhm.
and being a mom and being a woman, we already have so many different hats. And then you add on another hat being a business owner, and it just makes it even harder, but it's not
Impossible. Yeah.
impossible, right? Me and Leslie are both moms. We both have 2 kiddos, and we both run businesses. And we've been business owners for a few years now, and our kids are,
They're okay.
yeah, like, they're alive, they are
They're
well, they're I would say they're almost, they're thriving.
for sure. For sure. They're thriving.
So, um so I know that you've been a realtor for, a year now.
Yeah.
And how would you say, like, when you first started, like, what did that look like being a mom and adding on a business? Like, what did that look like for you?
So it was a little bit of a transition. I mean, I had, in our previous episode, I talked a little bit about my transition from the 9 to 5 to being an entrepreneur. And so coming from just taking some time, I took 2 years off work. So coming from just having that time off work where I literally could focus on my time, my energy, resources. At the time, I had one child, on him, and um, transitioning back into, okay, now let me think business minded too. It was tough. I mean, it was tough for sure. Um, Luckily though, my son had started school, and so basically I definitely tried to focus my time, majority of my time, on, if you call it, the money making.
Income producing activities.
Yes, income producing activities. I focus that on school hours, right? So, because I am definitely, I love my son, but he asks a lot of questions. So if he's at home, I'm not getting anything else done. So, the income producing activities are done when he is at school, which worked out well because he had just started kindergarten. So, I had that 7, 8 hour time frame to get things done, and a lot of the times, coming home, homework and dinner and getting to bed, and then I go right back to my laptop and I'm like, all right, I'm not going to watch my Netflix shows tonight. I'm going to work on what I need to work on that I didn't get finished, or, whatever it is I needed to get done that day. So it was a lot of, I always joke with people and I tell them, all right, I'm off the clock here. I'm gonna go to my second full-time job with the kiddo. I gotta pick the kiddo up, and then I'm going to my other job at night.
Yeah.
So it is a lot of long hours, but very rewarding. Just the fact that I get to be home and, with my child, when before I wasn't able to do that. So yes, it is more than
Yep.
before, but I do have that more balance and freedom of, because my number one priority is my kids. I'm very much like, I'm raising the next generation. Like,
Right.
this is my purpose in life, is to break these generational curses
Right.
and move forward and build something for my kids, because, my parents, they didn't have a lot, and it was a struggle getting to where I am, and just getting out of high school was a struggle, so I don't want my kids to go down that path. That's number one for me. So, it's just really doing what's hard, and you lose a lot of sleep, and but you have to just stay focused on the goal, and balance.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's what I heard out of that was, like, you have to, like, prioritize majorly.
Oh, yeah.
You have to prioritize. And also, like, you're talking about this, but that doesn't look exactly how it looks today, right?
No.
It's a little bit different
Yeah.
because
Yep.
that was a season. That was
Mhm.
a season when you got started, it was
Mhm.
grind time,
Mhm.
and now you've been able to kind of flow a little bit better because you put in all that work in the beginning
Yeah.
and you figured it out,
Mhm.
but it's gonna look different for every single mompreneur on
Yeah.
here, like, listening, because your kids might be, younger or older or in
Mhm.
sports or, like me, at homeschool, right? Like,
Yeah.
there's gonna be different scenarios and, different ways that your mom life looks, but you just have to prioritize and kind of figure out, like, all right, well, I can time block for those hours that he was at school. I can
Mhm.
knock out some stuff here, right? Same thing for me. Like, we homeschool, but we have downtime and we have work time. So, like, in downtime, I can do a lot of different things. I can either, play with my kids, or I can go lock myself in my room for an hour and be like, I've got to,
Or try
hammer
to.
through.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, really. No, really, because they're knocking on the door every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, just, you have to figure those things out, and what works best for you and your family. So it's not going to look the same as Leslie's situation or my
Mhm.
situation.
Mhm.
You have to figure out what looks best for you and your family. But there is a way to harmonize, balance it all, the mom
Mhm.
life, the home life, the work, the outside sports and extracurriculars and all of the things. Um, what do you think, like, is right now?
Mhm.
So you said that before it looks a little bit different than it does now.
Yes, I
So we're
added
like
another kid on.
you
Yeah.
add
Yes. Yes, I added another kid.
Oh, okay. Okay, that definitely adds a layer of challenge there.
Bit,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So it's definitely different now, than it was before. I have she'll be 2 in July, so yeah. Um, but very active running around and very much hey, if you're home and I'm home and you're not holding me, it's a problem. Okay. Which is great. I love that. I'm so happy that, I'm able to be there for her and do all the things. But it was tough. I mean, it was really tough. That transition was a little bit tougher, of course, because, she's not in school, and so having to figure out, how to do all the things and avoid, like, mom guilt. Like,
That's
probably
a hard one.
I probably have the worst mom guilt in the entire world, and
And we
everyone
all do.
tells me that, and they're like, "Leslie, stop. Like, stop. You're fine. The kids are good. We're all good. You don't have to entertain everybody 24/7. Like,
Mhm.
we're all fine." And it's just one thing that I struggle with a lot is the mom guilt. Um, just trying to balance because I feel bad for working, and then, I'm like, "Well, but it's for you."
Yeah, like, in the end.
Yeah, so it's definitely one of those where that's another thing intentionally that I'm trying to work on is, like, getting out of that mom guilt because that will eat you alive. It has eaten me alive all year, and in my past too. So, but one thing, I mean, I really admire about you is that you do homeschool. That's huge. I love homeschooling. That's definitely a future goal is to be able to do that for my kids. So, that's something big that we work towards, and I know that's another reason why I'm like, "Okay, let's just keep going, we'll get
Yeah.
there eventually."
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, how do you? Because your kids have always been homeschooled.
Mhm. Yeah, they've never been to public school.
How? Just tell us how.
It's hard. It's hard, guys. Well, to kind of, like, touch on that a little bit, I won't go super deep into it, but a lot of people think when they, like, hear homeschool, like, it's traditional school or public school at
Mhm.
home, and that is not it.
Yeah.
And I also take it, a notch further and do a little bit of, like, unschooling. We are not super, like, scheduled, like, and my kids are young. When they get older, they'll have more of a schedule for their schoolwork, but my daughter is 8, my son just turned 5. Like, my son, for example, he is just now getting in the the age to where he needs to be, trying to do like some worksheets and things, right?
Mm,
For younger kids, it's strictly like play-based learning
yeah,
is what we do. And then we just focus on the main things, so reading, writing, and math, right? And then we just dive into their interests. So my
yeah.
daughter is really big in gymnastics. She loves gymnastics. You will see
Mhm.
her flipping and twirling and doing all of the things all the time. And so that is one of her extracurriculars, right? So we just kind of follow the kids' leads, when it comes to homeschooling and dive into their interests more. And they're like lessons are, like, no longer than 45 minutes to an hour a day. Like,
Nice.
it's not we're taking 5, 6, 7 hours to school them, teach them, all of the things.
Mhm.
So our homeschool looks nothing like traditional school, so that's one way. Like, that kind of explains the majority of, like, how I make it work with homeschooling.
Yeah.
It's because we're not doing hours upon hours of work. Um, but that doesn't mean that they're not learning in those other
Mhm.
hours that we aren't strictly sitting down doing bookwork or, things like that. Like they're learning other things. Something that I find so funny all the time, um, is because like they'll just like ask about random things and then I'm like, oh, I can turn this into a lesson, right?
Yeah.
So like the other day, we just got some snow. And so my daughter was super excited. It was starting to snow. And I was like, well, you have to think about how cold is it outside, right?
Mhm.
Because if it's a certain degrees, it might not stick and you might not have snow to play in, but it has to be, 32 or lower. And
Mhm.
so that was a lesson for her, but we weren't doing homeschool in that moment.
Yeah.
Another thing that cracks me up all the time is like we're driving down the street and my kids are like, "There's a magnolia tree."
Oh, they know their trees.
They
Yeah.
well, just the magnolia tree as of right now, just
Yeah.
because it was something of their interest.
Mhm.
We had been on a walk, saw a magnolia tree, and we're talking about the leaves, they never change. Some might fall off, but like they stay green.
Mhm.
And they had like the big fruit seed pods at one point, and we were talking about that and like researching what those actually were. And so
Mhm.
now, anytime they see a magnolia tree, they have to let me know and they, yell it out. So it's fun, but it is tough. It
Mhm.
is very tough to homeschool because it's, if Johnny had 5 apples and you take away 2, how many
Yeah.
apples does
Yeah.
Johnny have?
Yeah.
Everybody knows that little, that
Yeah.
little meme, but it does get like that. It's not easy, but they're learning. They are very intelligent. Um, and it's very rewarding to be able to do that and build a business.
Mhm.
And it's also fun when so me and my husband, we have a financial services business and we work a lot of times remote. So we're like doing Zoom meetings, on the computer. And they know that we have meetings, a lot of meetings. And so they'll pretend play that they have meetings and they'll like set up their own little laptops and
Oh, that's fun.
they're like, Mommy, I have a meeting right now. I can't talk. Like so, so I just love seeing that because it's like they see what we do. They see like the hard
Yeah.
work that we're putting in. And one day they're gonna be like, thank you for
Mhm.
showing us this, bringing us along this journey and building this, empire for us
Yeah.
because now our lives look completely different than what it does, right now as we're making it happen.
Yeah.
So but the mom guilt, I wanna kinda go back to that for a second because it's not just in business that moms have guilt. We literally have guilt about everything
Yeah.
in our mom
Did
life.
I say that the right way?
Yeah,
Did
like
I just mess my kids up forever?
yeah, what trauma am I instilling in my children? Is that's a question that I ask all the time.
Mhm.
But if we didn't have it, we wouldn't be, like, good parents?
Mhm. Yeah.
But it is good that you have people in a support system to kinda put you in check and be like, they're
Calm
fine.
down.
You're fine.
We're
They're
good.
living, they're breathing, they're
Yeah.
healthy, they're thriving,
Mhm.
like, it's okay. Um, but with business, it's just kind of like another layer of that guilt, I guess.
Mhm.
Am I working too much? Am I not working enough? Am I doing this right?
Yeah.
And that's why we say, like, the balance is never gonna be there's never gonna be a balance. It's gonna be a harmony, and there's gonna be seasons that you have to grind it out in your business, and you might not see your kids as much, but, you know? you're doing what you have to do right now, and
Mhm.
then once you've grinded that out and you're kinda back in that flow state, you can spend more times with your kids,
Yeah.
and do the fun things and be a little bit more present. And that's not saying, you know, it's I lost my train of thought, I'm not gonna lie. But even if it as, like, a 9 to 5 job, right?
Mhm.
That's still there,
Mhm.
right? You're going from 9 to 5, then you come home, they went to school from that 9 to 5, now y'all both are home, homework, dinner, bath, bed,
Mhm.
same thing, you
Yeah.
know? But, being a business owner, you have a little bit more flexibility to be like, "Okay, well, I can map out this so that way when he comes home from work or school, I can be fully present."
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, there's always gonna be that level of guilt there, but you have to know, like, this is what you're doing it for, right? You
Yeah.
have to have your why behind it. And a lot of times for moms, it is their kids.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Just the other day, I think it was like a Sunday or something. We were gonna go see Santa and do like the Christmas cookies and all of that.
Yeah.
And then I ended up having to show houses all day.
Mm.
And then of course, the kids came along with me and it was like a whole thing, we missed Santa, but I'm very grateful that I can involve them in what I'm doing and they can see what's happening and I'm able to bring them and do
Yeah.
those things. So I can try to do both at the same it is sometimes where it's like, all right, my kids are coming with me.
Yep.
We're gonna go sell a house today.
Yeah.
Okay, get ready. Um it's very much that. So and even like gosh, it was this year I went through a really bad burnout. I mean, it was like 3 months long of burnout because like you said, I went into this grind season and I was just working 24/7. The kids would come home, I'd be on my laptop doing this, doing that. I'm trying to build something, build things because in most I know being a realtor in most businesses, what you do 3 months prior is paying off now.
Yep.
So it's always preparation, preparation, preparation.
Yep.
Not reward in the moment, but eventually will
Yeah.
be. But yeah, I went through really bad burnout for a few months this year. And after that, or in the middle of it, I realized, hey, I'm in a burnout. I think this is what's happening to me. It just made me be more intentional, like you said, of okay, let me time block here. That's something I've never done before is time blocking. I'm very much a like spontaneous, like in the moment, I do what I feel in the moment type of person. And I'm like, no, I can't do that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to figure out my flow and my rhythm. That was really tough to do. Um, so just making sure, we get things done when we have the sitter and then focusing on the kids, and then if I need to do any more work, then I will, or if I need to get up earlier. I have noticed getting up earlier in the morning when it's very quiet and peaceful and dark, been a
Y
game changer.
yeah.
Can drink your coffee, with in peace and quiet. So just finding like those little hours that, hey,
Yes.
my kids are gonna be asleep for 2 more hours. Let me like go to bed earlier so I can get up earlier, start my day, and not just be running around hectic and then the rest of the day's hectic. Because the first thing you do in the morning sets the tone for the whole day.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
I have been the, "Hey, we have to be at school in 10 minutes. Let's get up." And this is what we're doing today. Everyone's
No.
running around
Yes.
crazy and it's just the rest of the day is just horrible. So just finding those little moments where you can and focusing on self-care. Like there's nothing wrong with that. And that's something that I've
I
had
think
to
it's, like, imperative, like, you have to do
yeah.
it, like, you
Yeah.
cannot go without.
Yeah, yeah, and that's something I've had to do, like,
Yeah.
and put in my brain, like 'cause that's where the mom guilt comes from too, is I'm like, "I don't have time for myself." Like, "I don't have time to eat, I don't have time to do anything," and I'm like, "No, I'm just making excuses for not taking care of myself when I need to." I can't pour from an empty cup, so I can't,
Facts, I was just about to say that.
feed into my kids when I'm not okay. Like,
Yeah.
I need to be okay for them to be okay. So, self-care is, like, huge. You have to do it. You
Yes.
have to find time for it wherever that is. If it's 2 o'clock in the morning and your kids are finally asleep and they've been up all night and you need to take a bubble bath, just do it,
No,
You'll
for
be
real.
fine. But I think that's huge is self-care.
No, I think that's, like, number 1 in being
Mhm.
a mompreneur. Number 1, because, like you said, if your cup is not filled, how are you supposed to effectively pour into your children's cups, right? You
Mhm.
can't. You cannot pour from an empty cup, and some of you on here might have heard this a million times, I know I have, but I am a huge advocate of this. I was just telling one of my mentees the other day about this. She was going through the motions of life, life is lifing for her, business has kind of went to the back burner for her. And I was like, look, I know that I'm your business mentor, but you have to take care of you. Like,
Mhm.
whatever that looks like, go do it. Take 30 minutes to an hour, whatever that
Mhm.
looks like, whatever you can get in, and go take care of yourself.
Mhm.
Whether that's reading, if that's taking a bubble bath or whatever, a walk, go do that. It is so important. Excuse me. But yeah, I was also gonna say you were talking, we've been talking about like prioritizing, right?
Mhm.
Prioritizing family life, prioritizing work stuff, outsource,
Mhm.
outsourcing, okay? And this doesn't mean you have to like go hire a maid. My daughter is 8 years old. My son is 5. They are fully capable of doing chores or things that I don't have to worry about anymore. My
Mhm.
daughter's assignment is the dishes. So, like, that's off my plate. I don't have to worry about spending 20-25 minutes doing the dishes.
Mhm.
That's done. Switching the laundry over, which obviously doesn't take me a whole lot of time, but it's something simple that my son can do that I don't have to think about, and I could use that time spending it with him or, doing
Mhm.
something else, right? And so you have to outsource, and sometimes your house might fall a little bit behind. But
Mhm.
but that's okay.
It's happened to all
It
of us.
happens. It
Yeah.
happens. It's not the end of the world. I know personally, um, I can't function correctly in a messy house.
Mhm.
It
Mhm.
clutters my brain. Um
That is a proven fact.
no, it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
And so you have to, again, be intentional. So we have days dedicated to, we have like our daily tasks.
Mhm.
So, like, my husband's on laundry duty right now, my daughter's on dishes, my focus is the bathrooms. But the big things get done 1 day a week. And then the little things are, you know, can be done every single day.
Mhm.
And so just adding that, layer of preparation is gonna help you so much.
Yeah.
So, so much.
No, I'm glad you said that because we actually decided to hire a cleaner like a month ago. Because if you think about it this way, like, what is your time worth? How much do you make an hour? You
Yes.
know what I'm saying? Like, as a realtor, when you're working a transaction, you can make anywhere from 250 to whatever an hour.
Mhm.
So, focus on doing those things that make your hourly versus paying someone $20 an hour. Your time, you're going to make way more money
Mhm.
because that's one thing where we found ourselves like cleaning, cooking, like spending so many hours a day doing these things that's a $20 an hour job
Yeah.
where we can be over here making, $250 an hour. It's a kind of a,
Yeah.
a no-brainer there where just delegate, like you said, outsource, like do those things. Because I'm in my head, like, I don't want to pay someone to, for months. I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know, that's a waste of
I can
money. I
just
don't
do
want
it
to do
myself.
it.
And, like,
No.
yeah, you
Yeah.
can, but, like, at what cost,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And, some people don't have the funds to do that, but that's why I just came up with, we have a system that we can get these
Mm-hmm.
things done on certain days,
Mm-hmm.
little things done throughout the week. But if you do have the funds to do that, take advantage of it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You could pay someone to come clean your house once a month, and then you can go spend your time with your family while they're cleaning the house, and
Mm-hmm.
then you got that time back with your kids,
Yeah.
right? It's huge. It really is. It's such a game changer, and yes, we can do it, but at the same time, like, you know, what what is your time worth? Exactly what you said. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what is your time worth? So, that's really good. That's really, really good.
Yeah. Another thing is a lot of people talk about how important it is to have your village,
Yes.
especially with kids. And that can seem impossible to a lot of people. I know for me, for a long time, it seemed impossible. Sometimes it still does. It's hard because right now, just in general, where it's a grind culture, but it doesn't work for everyone being a grind culture, and, also, if you're a single mom, like, that's very tough, you
Yeah.
know, I've been a single mom and, it was really, really hard doing all the things, keeping up with the house, paying all the bills, you know, taking care of your kids, and, it almost seems impossible that everyone's in a situation where they're just busy, they're doing things, it's hard to have that village, but you know, going out there and intentionally, like, searching for them. There are a lot of mom groups and, just different things where you just have those conversations, meet people, come together and, you know, get your kids together. There's even, like, homeschooling communities I've
Yes.
heard about. I love that. That is, like,
Yeah.
amazing, where the moms just, "We'll take the kids this week and teach them. You
Yeah.
teach them that week." Like, just having, like, finding those spaces, or even just if you can't find it, make
Build it.
one, you know, build
Build
it.
it. Yeah.
Reach out to people, like, if you're one thing I've learned, especially starting my networking business, is where you're having issues or you're lacking, so are other people.
Yes.
So when you just put it out there, which is exactly what I did, other people are gonna say, "Hey, I can relate. Let me talk to you
Yeah.
because I'm feeling the same way." So intentionally just doing those things to find the support, again, easier said than done, but there are a million moms out there, or you know, maybe they are moms and business owners that can relate to you 100% and they need that same support, and you guys can come together because together we are more powerful. Doesn't matter what you know, what journey in life you are, like, together we're better. We
Yeah.
all know that. So that's a big thing.
Yes, for sure. And kinda touching back on, the energy aspect, right?
Mm.
So, like, are 100% in control of, like, putting that energy out there to find those people that you're looking for. Because I 100% believe, I know I've already told you this, but, like, I manifested our friendship. Like, I was looking for somebody that was, similar to me, like,
Mhm.
similar beliefs, similar, being a mom, having a business, being that mompreneur, right?
Holistic.
Yeah.
The bad word. Holistic.
Holistic. Holistic and woo-woo and all the things. Um, but yeah, it's been great because we can relate and we can call each other up and be like, "Girl, let me
Mhm.
can I vent for a second? Like,
Yeah.
let me tell you what's going on right now."
Yeah. I
And
appreciate all of our venting sessions.
yes,
Yes.
yeah, it's great. It's great. So, yes, definitely,
Mhm.
be, looking for that village, manifest that village for yourself
Mhm.
because it's just like you said, we're stronger together.
Mhm.
It's super powerful. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I love that.
Amen. Amen. Well, that was an awesome topic today. I am looking forward to our next episode.
Yes, super excited for our next episode. I'm super excited for this coming up year. We're gonna have some really awesome guests on. So if you haven't already, go ahead, like, subscribe, share it with your friends that can
Love it.
relate, all of the things. We are trying to grow this community here. This is, it's her roundtable because it's not just her or me, it's her as in all of us, right? All
Mhm.
of you that are listening, so we also want to hear any kind of topics that you want us to discuss. So if you will message us on any of our social media pages and let us know what you guys want to hear, we would love to hear your feedback. But until next time, girlies. Bye.